Hello, welcome to Peter's Mobile Web with lots of digital news podcasts. Anyone can leave their comments on our visitors page. Advertising made easy. Just click the contact page. You'll find plenty of posts on many topics. Visitors can leave comments to any post.
Hello, welcome to petersmobileweb.com. In this episode, it's easy to see how employment is struggling. Meaning, for an example, it's easy to see many countries are slowly but are going future driverless trains. Yes, driverless trains, and even slowly but going driverless buses. Yes, everyone knows out there that driverless cars have grown, or they will grow in the future. Now, I'll give another example. Now, in China, many factories are slowly going to digital, meaning robots. Robots will be, for the future, operating within factory work. Sure, many countries haven't started that yet, no, but in the future I'm talking about it will happen. But back in a country called Australia, well, still behind in many facets of digital, but catching up slowly. Definitely haven't got driverless trains yet though, no driverless trains. But it's easy to see where many companies, whether it's small, huge, doesn't matter, you can see how they're definitely going digital in many facets of operating a business. Meaning, I'll give an example. Now, more and more companies now are going towards companies that produce or digital gadgets or digital in the way of websites. Yes, more and more small, medium, large will definitely go to these growing companies which are more technology digital companies, in which will help change the way these small, medium or large companies operate in the future. Now, many companies are taking to using more and more of websites now, as everyone out there knows these days, of course, like shopping on a mobile phone is easy. Banking is getting easier too on a smartphone, so it's easy to see the way the future, these technology digital companies are going to grow and grow, which is great. So nothing against that's great that they're growing, because that's obviously where future jobs are going to be grown in. But back in Australia, now, unfortunately, we're hearing more on the media of companies closing. Yeah, and jobs are gone. So, this is my point. With all this bad news, which it is, to many workers in Australia, with companies closing, that is, well, it comes back to my early point that more of these companies are slowly looking at a company which deal with technology and to change the company into that field of operating. So, and that's the way employment is going to be heading in the future. Now, getting on to politicians. Now, time and time again, hear politicians say the word innovation. But, hang on, what way do they mean innovation? We all know what innovation means, but politicians say this word continuously, but when the middle to low income hear these stories of companies closing, moving to another country or closing down completely and losing their job, comes back what do politicians mean by innovation when all this is happening now. So, and get back to my earlier point, is how driverless trains are started. Like in London, for an example, they've got a light rail which runs to the Docklands, and which is driverless, and which runs okay, but still the point is it's driverless, and can easily see how it operates being driverless. So and other countries, which I won't go through now, but have and will be following suit in the future, because the way carriages and light rail trains are built now, it all comes back to technology, as I said earlier. So interesting to see what politicians in the future will say. Not politicians of today, but politicians in the future are going to be saying, well, I think it's going to be more technology in the future with politicians. But politicians today, they just say one word, innovation, which is not explained. No. That's the problem with politicians of today. They're not up with it, nowhere near it. So it'd be interesting to see, hopefully I'm right, that the politicians of the future, that is, they will be more with technology, yes, they'll understand it, yes, and hopefully they will be explaining in more detail to every voter all around the world. This is, of course, where digital technology is going to be replacing in many fields of employment. But getting back to politicians today, nah, unfortunately, way behind. Politicians today will never be up with it. But another example is, let's say instead of getting a wage increase, right? Instead of getting a wage increase, right? And let's say something happens where there's a wage decrease. Now, it's funny where you hear politicians and so-called experts say more jobs will be created. But getting back to what I said earlier, how technology, digital, will be replacing in many areas of employment. Well, hang on, how can more jobs be created if more jobs where wages are decreased, not increased? But with technology coming, so there's not much explanation said there by experts who say experts or politicians to be added on. But that's a very interesting point where when wages get decreased, even if it's a small margin and no increase, be interesting to see how jobs are going to be created. Well, this is definitely going to be the future in, as I keep saying, like more websites. Yes, websites are going to be grown tremendously more and more. Like with websites, I can guarantee more websites will have the option where they can put something live on their website, or whether it's taped, recorded, and then put on easy. That's the way the future also is going to be with websites. It's going to be very, very simple. Same with you know, just putting whatever it is on your website, the future in that will be, I won't go into it right now, but this is going to be the future where more websites are going to be much easier in many facets. But I'll definitely keep on this, but hopefully politicians start now, and listening the way the future will be heading, of course, which, as I keep saying, technology, digital. But until next time, and to onpetersmobileweb.com, bye for now.